Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. I see that Apple are in the news again. And guess what? They're working on new technology that will infiltrate into our privacy in a way that hasn't been done before. That's what everyone in the world wants, isn't it? It seems we all want to become as one with machines. Yeah, hell, we don't even want to be human anymore. Being human is just it's so much yesterday's news. It's so overrated being human, isn't it? Like freedom and liberty and the right to choose what you want to do with your life. All right? Sorry for the sarcastic intro. But anyway, look, as you can see on the thumbnail, we've got the Apple logo, the numbers 666 and a brain. And we'll get onto the logo and the 666 thing in a second. But first, here is this report from a couple of days ago. Apple is developing a mental health monitor for iPhone. The tool could help diagnose depression and cognitive decline. Apple is reportedly building technology to help diagnose depression and cognitive decline. Of course, Apple already have a COVID vaccination passport thing built into their new phones, into the operating system as well. All kinds of digital tools, ultimately algorithms in their phones, aiming to collect user data on mobility, physical activity, sleep patterns, heart rate, because they want to monitor your health. They say detect signs of specific conditions. They just want to stick their nose into all of your business. They want to own you, basically. Another reason for all of this health monitoring is because in a not too distant future, they don't want you to go and see doctors anymore. It'll just be an app. It's kind of like that now. You've got those stupid smartwatches. Here's a hint. If it's got the word smart in front of it, run a mile the other way. Anyway, these smartwatches, Apple smartwatches, track people's sleep. They check their heart rate. They start a mindfulness session, record their menstrual cycle, even set up a hand washing timer. Oh, isn't that nice? All for the good of your health, so it is. All this spying on you and your health. Of course it is. But this is a new thing. As if that wasn't enough, they now want to monitor your mental health and diagnose cognitive issues. It says here, the goal of these sorts of detection tools is to enable professionals to intervene early and prevent adverse outcomes. It's like giving someone a front row seat to your brain's activity without having to pay for therapy. Here's a clip.
Smartphones could soon alert you to signs of depression or declines in mental capacity. The Wall Street Journal says Apple is developing an algorithm that will keep track of your physical activity levels, sleep patterns, mobility, facial expressions, as well as heart and respiration rates. It's actually two separate projects. The first, codenamed Seabreeze, is focusing on anxiety, depression, and stress levels. The other, codenamed Pi, is focusing on cognitive impairment, including conditions that can lead to Alzheimer's.
So you can see how and where this is going, the technology, the passports, and how far, they're planning to infiltrate into your personal space. I mean, they want to get into your mind, for goodness sake. You remember me telling you to destroy your phones? You thought I was joking. I'm not. They want to monitor your mental health and determine if you have a mental condition. You see how fast this dark technology is developing and how quickly it seems to be all speeding up. They are trying to force people into having passports, digital IDs. They are trying to bring in digital currencies, social credit systems to control your behavior, smart meters to control your energy usage, trackers on cars to control how far you drive, ramping up the climate propaganda with their COP26 Pope and the Queen meeting in November. All of a sudden, there is non-stop invasion into everyone's life, trying to make you become slaves to this digital necromancy. And here are Apple now telling everyone to what extent these control freaks are willing to go. They want to get into your mind. They want to control your thoughts. They want you thinking the right thoughts. I mean, you can see, say for instance, in the USA, Apple have detected that your mental health is not up to scratch. There is a 25% possibility that you could have a psychotic breakdown. Oh, now we need to confiscate your guns and your license. Or in the UK, oh, we have determined that because you believe in my body, my choice and certain conspiracy theories, we have determined that the state of your mental health puts you in the possibly dangerous category. You will be monitored by the state. It's getting into that minority report situation where you could be accused of crimes that the algorithm thinks you will commit in the future. Yeah, that's where this crap is heading. Look at this Apple Watch that tells you to breathe.
Anyone who owns an Apple Watch is probably familiar with this notification telling you to breathe. But why are you getting this reminder in the first place? Well, that's what I'll explain right now. So one of the main features of Apple Watch is its health functionality, like tracking your workouts, counting your steps, monitoring your heart rate, and even reminding you to stand up every hour. But Apple wanted to take things beyond physical health by adding mental wellness features. And the Breathe app is a result of that effort.
Sit down, stand up. Now you can breathe. They just want to possess you. They want to take over your body. They want to be in charge of you in every way. Now, Apple are notorious. They are well known to be the most corrupt of all the big tech firms. And I mean, all of them are dodgy, so that's quite a feat. Now, of course, Apple has this logo of an apple with a bite taken out of it. Now, Steve Jobs said that he chose an apple because he liked apples. He likes eating apples and he wanted something simple. And then the logo creator created this image of an apple for the logo, but they were worried that people might mistake it for a cherry, so they put a bite in it. Now, some people believe it's a symbol of the apple from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and it represents temptation, sin, temptation from the devil, and the bite in the apple represents that. This is labelled as not true by Apple. But it's interesting to note that Isaac Newton, the astronomer, the mathematician, all-round smart-ass, when you learn about him in school, you're told the story about the apple, how he was sitting under an apple tree, maybe the tree of knowledge, and an apple falls down and hits him on the head. And he goes, aha, like Alan Partridge. And this inspires him to come up with the law of gravity. Now, this supposedly happened, surprise, surprise, in the year 1666. There's that number again, the 3 sixes. And Apple, now, the first logo that Apple computers had before they used the Apple logo was that of Isaac Newton sitting under the tree with an apple over his head. But they never really talk about that. And interestingly enough, Apple's first computer went up for sale at, you guessed it, $666.66. So I don't know. They never really had an explanation for that. So I don't know. It's just strange how we have an apple with a bite out of it to represent a computer that when it's first released, it's $666.66. And their original logo was of Isaac Newton, whose moment of epiphany with an apple happened in the year 1666. And thinking of that, was it not possible that his mathematical discoveries laid the foundation for the creation of the computers and the technology that is now coming to pass? So, just a thought. I thought it was interesting. Is it all coincidence? Just like the House of Representatives number 6666 for their COVID bill of testing, reaching and contacting everyone. The Microsoft patent of 060606 for their cryptocurrency system using body activity data, or all the other countless times this number has appeared recently. Is it a coincidence? Is it put there deliberately? Or are these numbers coming up because it's just destiny? I mean, I'll let you figure that one out. So yeah, these tech firms are looking at getting into your mind. They want to read your thoughts. They want to be able to predict what you're going to do next, what you're going to think next, what you're feeling, so that they can then dictate what you think and what you feel. They want control of your mind, body, and most probably your soul. And they've got into this position because they made smartphones so attractive to people, made them addictive by playing to their egos, to their vanity, their social media likes, selfies, Vanity, basically, creating a virtual world where you can be popular in. It's an illusion. Then it was making payments with phones, making apps that made life easier, maps, route planners, buying things, alarms, etc., etc. This has been going on for so many years, and now people find them indispensable. They are lost without them. And now they are using those phones, using your addiction to imprison you. And when one of the leading companies who are now pushing it to the extent that they literally want to monitor your mind, what you're thinking and feeling, when you should breathe, telling you if you are ill or if you're healthy, have a freedom passport built into it. And that company has a logo with an apple with a bite taken out of it, and they released their first computer for $666.66. Somebody somewhere is telling you something. I said months ago people should destroy their phones. I was serious. You should. If everyone did it, it would put a spanner in the works of their plans, that's for sure. But unfortunately, I can't see it happening. The majority of the people are too addicted. They took the bite of the apple, and that is that. They are hooked. And now they will be pulled in hook, line and sinker. But I know I won't be. Like I've said before, now is a time to reject technology because it's all been distorted into a trap, into a world wide web. That's why we need to be connected. That's why those who are not going to fall for this, who are not walking down this digital black alchemical road to enslavement, those of us who wish to be free need to network. I'm still trying to work out the best way to do this. It's difficult. Can anyone recommend a forum service, preferably free, or a message board service that could be used and linked from the website, that could be trusted, that doesn't censor stuff? Because I've noticed a few of these forum services do this. And something that is private. Let us know of anything that might be useful that you may know of. And I'll keep looking into it anyway. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to the tribe at hugotalks.com, a place for like-minded souls who don't follow the fake stream media.